Hi there, and welcome to the Shoo Rayner Drawing School. Now, I've had a couple of requests. One from XXX 11 Bloods XXX and Snippers 123. First one says more info on my portfolio, please. And Snippers 123 says, can you show us your portfolio drawings in a video in the future? Well, I happened to be up in my attic yesterday sorting things out, and I came across my old portfolio and a whole lot of stuff that was in it, which I'm now going to show you. I haven't been out with my portfolio for a long time. I think I went and showed some people some things about 4 or 5 years ago, but other than that, it's years, because mostly I write my own books and illustrate my own books these days, and it's kind of I haven't been out sort of selling with a portfolio. But let me show you what I used to have, and it'll give you some ideas. Okay, well, this is my portfolio, and this is kind of what happened. I was kind of I left art school, and okay, well, this is kind of the stuff I took around with me. When I left art school, actually, I was not. I did so much kind of different stuff, and then I tried to be a rock star for a while, and then I spent some time really working on my portfolio. And these are the kind of things that I did, and these are kind of really, finished pieces of work, which I did for my portfolio. And meanwhile, back in ancient Egypt, some pretty funky stuff was going down. Obviously thought that was quite cool at the time. And I did these really simple kind of drawings, and as a kind of storybook kind of thing. No, One Hungry Cat is the wrong way around, isn't it? One hungry cat looking for some dinner, chased a mouse into the house and ended up the winner. These are just kind of pen and ink ideas. And I was quite into watching American football. They showed it quite a lot on TV in those days, and I kind of drew that. And I don't know, these were just kind of drawings. I kind of did an awful lot of work on this book called Strawberry Jam Pancakes, which never got published. I did it about 5 or 6 times, and it went through all sorts of different styles. But I kind of had these on here to show what I was capable of. This is kind of character sketches. A character called Lydia. I think I got some. So yeah, these are kind of some more pictures of her, which I had with me. She changed a lot. The books eventually got published. This was Lydia in the end. And you may well have learned to read on these. I know hundreds and hundreds of thousands of copies of those have been sold. And this was, I think I did these right at the end of college, I seem to remember. These are kind of stuff I was doing back then. I'll show you that. And this was another thing I kind of did for my portfolio. It's kind of storytelling, I suppose. Spraying fly spray onto him instead, and he turns into a fly. These are just some kind of cat drawings. These are all pen and ink and wash mostly. And I was kind of obsessed with this. The problem with Strawberry Jam Pancakes story kind of took over my life. I learned an awful lot doing it, but it just never got published. This is kind of one of the versions of it. She floats off. There's a kind of a flood, and she floats off and does all sorts of things. I know somebody's recently asked me, could I show them how to do cityscapes? I should kind of work on something like this. These are all buildings that I knew at the time. And this is her. This is pretty horrific, actually, isn't it? It's kind of a nightmare scene where she's being force-fed strawberry jam pancakes. And no wonder it never got published. It's kind of a logo idea thing for it. And then I also had with me, I'd done some front covers for adult novels, which I'd done for a friend of mine, Timothy Finn. And so I had these in my portfolio, even though I was really trying to sell myself as a children's book publisher. And these were all done in gouache, which is a very different kind of style. I've never really done anything like that since. This was my kind of calling card, I suppose, something like that. And that was kind of an early book that I did for Terry Deary, who no one had heard of much then. He went on to do all those horrible history books. And this is a very early, one of my first commissions. This is actually a print of one of my very first commissions.
that I got to do. I was so proud when that got published. This again, this was kind of, I did this for Oxford University Press in a kind of a educational book kind of thing, as I did with this, which these are all kind of comedy book names. Teacher's Pet by A Creep, Do It Again by Percy Vere, Bubbles in the Bath by Ivor Windybottom, that famous old joke. Yeah, and I can't remember what that was. I think that was a college project, I think, I'm not sure. And these again were from those Terry Deary books, so I would kind of show these. And that's another one, that was kind of my first real colour commissioned work. And this is from my first book, one of my first books, called Land Rover Jim. And these are some covers I did. This is called Felicia the Critic, and here we would call it Felicia the Critic, but it's an American story, and I did a new cover for it. This is Moss's Last Chance. I'll be telling you an awful lot more about that over the next few days. These books are going to be in McDonald's soon. And that was the first cover I did as well, which it was such hard work, but I was so proud of that. So that's my first ever book cover. And this I'm also very proud of. This was a book by Rose MP called Rhode Island Roy, the roughest rooster in the world. And this piece of artwork was actually used. Originally, they were black and white sketches, and this piece was used on BBC television. It was actually the last artwork ever commissioned for a program called Jackanory, which was a storytelling program. It was such a big favourite when I was a child. They kind of brought it back, but it's not the same. So 4 or 5 years ago, I started doing this kind of style in a softer crayon kind of style, and somebody saw it online and asked me if I'd come in and show them my portfolio. Well, I didn't have a portfolio, so I kind of threw some things together. And this is my character, the Ginger Ninja. That's Bombassa, who I think I'm going to be turning this into a Kindle book soon, so I'm sure I'll be showing you more about Bombassa. And then these were just kind of little ideas. I think these were for e-cards that I was doing at the time, but I got so much spam from them I stopped doing it. And they asked me to come in and show me my work, so I kind of brought these things in. That's a kind of line and wash, and that's Rock-a-Doodle-Doo, Wayne the chicken. So maybe I'll do that on Kindle, and I'll show you that too soon. And these are for another story I've been working on for years. I've been working on this story for about 15 years. I can't make it right. And these are some kind of sketches. And again, this is this kind of softer pencil, crayon and watercolour style. And they kind of liked it, but they never commissioned me. They gave me a story to work on, but then they decided not to do it. And at the time, I was working on this character who I called Mr. Lullaby, and I was writing lots of lullabies at the time, and they were horrified by it. They said, this creepy guy coming into your room to sing lullabies. I thought, he's quite a nice guy. So that didn't work out. I was hoping they might be interested in that story. And here he is again. Here's kind of Rockabye Baby in the treetop, and Mr. Lullaby coming to sing the Rockabye Baby to sleep. They didn't like that at all. And again, this is this softer style. So you can see I've just taken a few kind of choice pieces to show along to them. There's another Rhode Island Roy that was on Jackanory. I kind of put that in there because it's, it's a good talking point. And this is the final one. This is kind of young Ginger. One of my characters, the Ginger Ninja. And I wanted to tell stories about him when he was much younger. And it's this kind of softer style. So with a portfolio, I think what you really want is a few really good pieces that don't confuse the art director you're going to talk to, so that they can see, this is what this person does, this is what they're good at. If you've got a different style, have a different portfolio, and don't confuse people. If you've got a kind of a technical one, take that when you go to see technical publishers. If you've got a soft, gentle thing like this, take that portfolio when you go to see them, because if they see technical work, they go, who is this person? I don't understand. And they just you know, people are not that clever. They can't kind of, you know, they want it easy. So you've got to make it easy for them. And so what do you do? Certainly in the old days, I mean, nowadays you can put a whole lot on your website and hope somebody finds it. I think a lot of people have agents, but if you kind of like the business, and I do quite like, I quite like the business part of being an illustrator. There is nothing like actually getting on the phone and saying, "Can I come and show you my portfolio for 5 minutes?" And people will. Well, they certainly used to see you. I don't know. And I think they may be surprised, you know, because they only need to give you 5 minutes, and if you can leave them with something as well, like a little sheet of things that you've done, photocopied or printed or something like that, it's a good idea. There is nothing like meeting people and building up real relationships, and that would be my advice. You can build a website as much as you like. Getting people to come and look at it is another thing. Picking up a phone and going to meet somebody who is actually commissioning, creating a real relationship with them is the way to do it. That's my advice to you. Okay, bye-bye. So, if you've enjoyed watching this, keep coming back to the Shoo Rayner drawing channel on YouTube. And in the meantime, keep drawing. Practice. And I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.